Hey, what's up guys? This is Jason with RC Off-Road Racing. Alright guys, so this video is going to be about, driving style, technique, and, what driving style I'm currently, how I'm currently driving. And, just a couple pointers. Some things that I've learned from coming out here and racing with some of the faster guys. And just learned from, being out here and practicing and trying to get better. So yesterday I was out here with another guy. I think he's with Team JQ, and just one thing I realized is racing with somebody else on the track. We weren't like, all right, let's race or nothing, but as we're going around, we're kind of racing each other. So it made me step up my game, because the guy, this guy, I don't recall his name, but he's pretty fast. So I think we went around about 4 or 5 laps when he was, maybe 20 foot behind me, and he really never caught me until after 4 or 5 laps, I ran into one of the pipes and kind of got stuck there. So, all right, so there's basically 2 driving styles, smooth driving style and aggressive. I've pretty much, tried to go with smooth most of the time. But, when you're racing faster guys, this driving real smooth, for me, I can't keep up. So I've had to learn to get more aggressive with it. Being with this track being a little dry, it got some pretty hard surface there on the racing line. But if you get outside the racing line, it's pretty powdery, sandy dirt, So of course, during a race, you don't want to wreck on the first lap. So, I've decided to start being more aggressive if I'm at the front of the race, because the guys in the back will come plow into you and knock you off the track. And then the marshal, because it's everybody starting, you'll end up at the back of the pack. So I don't know, do whatever you guys do, but try not to wreck on the first lap. Something else I've learned, try to stay close to the inside pipe. You don't want to be blowing your corners, because that's you're traveling distance that you don't have to travel if you're going past your corners. So make sure to use some brakes, coming into the corners. And so anyway, I've always tried to use the smooth technique, which has been pretty okay for me. But I noticed yesterday when I was racing around the track with this other gentleman that I was definitely faster driving aggressive. However, it's more like out of control. Is more chances of you having to wrecking or rolling over, or going off the track and having to be marshaled, that type of thing. But so I think kind of the way I'm going to try to my technique for this upcoming race is I'm going to come out the gate real aggressive, try to get to the front, somewhere at the front hopefully. And then, if I get in the front, I will probably slow the pace down a little bit, try to drive a little more smooth. But, anytime somebody's really putting pressure on me, you're going to have to turn it up and try to, outrace them. So that's kind of what I'm going to try to do for this upcoming race on the 20th. So we'll see how that works out. But, I have been practicing a lot, and I've definitely got a lot better. I can turn pretty much 31-second laps consistently. 31.5 to 32-second laps consistently, driving smooth. But when I do drive more aggressively and I'm able to keep it on the track, my lap times jump down to about 30 seconds. So I'm gonna see how that works out for me. And here's another thing that I've just picked up on yesterday. Because like I said, I've been trying to drive more aggressively. Well, the way I would take this section here is I'd come around this corner, try to keep as close as I can, and I always hit the double, because I feel like it's going to be the tighter line rather than going around it. But usually after I hit the double, what I do is I kind of just stay off the gas and kind of coast up to the jump and get to where about the distance where I feel like I can go ahead and hit wide open throttle and be able to hit the jump correctly. However, I'm losing time that way because that's, I don't know, 20 yards or so, or 10 yards, something like that, whatever. That I'm just coasting. I'm not on the gas and being, I guess aggressive or trying to be fast really. So what I've started doing now, and I just started this yesterday, is after I hit that double, I just get on it and then I kind of let off, and it's kind of right before the, right before the peak of the jump. I let off, which also causes the back end to kind of kick up and get you angled for the downside the jump. So that's something else to think about. So, if you're just really starting out with racing and you're trying to pick a style, if you're trying to think you want to be aggressive or smooth, I would suggest trying to just really don't worry about speed at all. Just kind of learn how to stay on the track, and just keep it on the track. Because I come out here and practice, and I don't have anybody with me. So every time I flip over, I got to go out there and roll the thing back over, which gets to be a pain in the butt. So, you come out here, just, do some smooth laps. A lot of the driving and driving well is rhythm, so just kind of, get started slowly, make a clean lap or two without no real mistakes or, bad mistakes. And then just kind of, ease into driving faster and try to see where, try to think of how you could drive differently in different areas of the track to be faster. But I would definitely advise, going with driving smooth before trying to, drive aggressively. Because aggressive driving, unless you really, know what you're doing, you're going to be flipped over all the time, and it's just not going to be a good way to learn. So another thing, that I would suggest is really get to know your car really well. I've been driving a 7 Eco for the first year, and I just started got this 7R, but they're basically the same, except with a couple just minor details. The shocks on the 7R are a little different, but anyway, get to know your car. So because right now, with having driven the 7 for the past year, if I hear a noise or something starts acting some way, I pretty much know what it is. Just off the sound of it or whatever, I know what it is. So it makes, repairing it a lot easier rather than having to, you hear something that doesn't sound right or something's not acting right, and you got to pull it off the track, take it to the pit, open it up, start looking, and you have no clue where to start because you don't, you're not really familiar with the different sounds that it's going to make when different things happen. So another pointer or tip that, seems to make me get quicker laps is, when you're downsiding a jump, you want to set the car up and kind of angle it so that it's going to land the best it can. But also, a lot of times if there's a little bit of space after the downside of the jump, if you land on throttle, the car is just going to kind of zip up to the next corner. So versus landing off throttle and kind of just coasting. So you can get a lot of speed extra, you can knock off, I don't know, half a second or something. But, that's half a second is a lot, to be real honest, because like I said, my fastest lap here was 30, basically almost like just under 31. And the fast guys that run here are running, mid 29. So that ain't but a second and a half difference. So it really makes a difference if you can do anything to pick up a few tenths or whatever. But like I said, that's something that you'll do, or that'll come later once you've kind of got the basic feel for everything and kind of figured it out a bit. A lot of it has to do with just kind of getting out here and practicing and trying things and figuring things out as you go. So what works for me may not work for you, I just, wanted to let you guys know some of the things that I do to try to help me with my racing. So